BTS's Jimin and Jungkook appear live after enlistment. Tears, laughter, and promise of reunion at Weverse live. The long-awaited day has finally arrived. After months of military service that separated them from the stage and the fans, BTS's Jimin and Jungkook suddenly appeared together in a live broadcast on Weverse, making the entire army uproar in an instant. This moment really became a big surprise that no one ever imagined. There were no previous leaks, no signs of their so anticipated appearance in one frame. Everything happened so quickly, so suddenly, but that's exactly what makes this moment feel more real and imprints on the hearts of everyone who witnessed it firsthand. Weverse Live, which initially only opened with a black screen and a faint voice, slowly presented a long-missed figure. Jimin, with his trademark warm smile, opened the live broadcast first. He looked relaxed, sitting in a simple room, wearing a plain t-shirt and hair that had grown back after the draft. His voice sounded cheerful, but behind it was hidden a tremor of emotions that was difficult to hide. "Hello, it's been a long time," he said with a small smile, as if trying to hold back the emotion that had been hanging in his chest. Army had not had time to organize feelings. Suddenly there was a sound of footsteps approaching, and without warning, Jungkook's figure appeared next to Jimin with a wide smile that had been so missed. Jungkook immediately sat down next to Jimin, and the two looked at each other with such warm expressions. "Surprise," Jungkook said with a small laugh. And instantly, Wever's comment section was flooded with happy virtual shouts from ARMY around the world. Thousands of comments per second poured in, welcoming the return of these two best friends on one screen. The broadcast felt so intimate. No fancy setting, no grand stage set, just two people sitting side by side, sharing stories, laughter, and tears. Jimin admitted that he and Jungkook had long planned to appear together after the draft, but they wanted to make it a really special surprise. "We want the army to see us for the first time again, together, just like we used to," Jimin said as he looked at a smiling Jungkook nodding in agreement. They began to tell about their experiences during military service. Jungkook said that he had a difficult day, especially when he had to adjust to a new environment that was completely different from the entertainment world he had known. However, he always braced himself by imagining the day when he could again meet the army and again meet the members of BTS. "Every night before going to bed, I always imagine a broadcast like this, me and Hyung sitting together, chatting with all of you," Jungkook said in a tone that sounded a little shaky. Jimin, who has always been known as a caring figure, couldn't hold back his tears as Jungkook began to tell him about his difficult times. He lowered his head, trying to wipe away his tears quickly, but Jungkook, who realized it, grasped Jimin's hand tightly. "Hyung, you must have experienced the same thing. We've made it through everything," Jungkook said, making Jimin finally smile amid his sobs. The broadcast was not only filled with tears of emotion, but also small laughs that were so warm. They tease each other, laugh about the little idiots they did in the military, and share stories about the food they missed. Jungkook even joked that he had almost gained weight because he ate ramen too often in the barracks. Jimin immediately chimed in, "That's why I don't want to bet who will be thinner when you come out. You lose, right?" Jungkook can only laugh while shaking his head. However, the moment that touched the army the most was when they started talking about the future. Jungkook firmly said that the two of them have promised to restart their journey with other BTS members soon. "We've talked a lot. We'll be back. We'll be on stage again. We promise," Jungkook said as he looked at the camera seriously. Jimin added, "We don't want you to wait any longer. We are going to make this waiting time something precious for all of you." The promise of a reunion was met with an outpouring of emotion from the army. The live broadcast, that was originally only planned for a few minutes, ended up lasting more than an hour because the two felt too comfortable sharing their stories with their fans. Jimin and Jungkook encourage each other, tell each other about their plans, about the music they want to work on together, and even about those places that they would like to return to after a long separation from public life. In the middle of the broadcast, Jungkook took out a small box from his pocket. As it turned out, he was carrying the same friendship bracelet they wore years ago. Jungkook put the bracelet on Jimin's hand, and instantly the atmosphere became very emotional. "You still keep it?" Jimin asked with a trembling voice. Jungkook nodded. "I promised that time, right? I'll wear it again when we're together." The moment became the emotional peak of the broadcast. No fancy words, just simple actions full of meaning. Jimin then looked at Jungkook and said, "You know what? Not a day goes by in the military without me thinking of you and the other members. I've always wondered how you guys got there. I always wanted to make sure you were okay." Jungkook looked at her with a gentle look. "Me too, Hyung. Sometimes I just sit in silence, thinking about our time together. It feels like a dream now that we can sit here again." At the end of the broadcast, both delivered a special message to the army. They apologized for making fans wait for a long time, but they promised to pay for all that time with better work, with more stunning looks, and with closer togetherness. "We are never far from you. Although we could not meet during this time, our hearts were always connected. Thank you for waiting for us," Jimin said sincerely. Jungkook closed the broadcast with a single sentence that made the entire army cry with happiness. "This is not the end. This is a new beginning for all of us." Weverse Live It ended, but the euphoria still echoed. Armies around the world flooded social media with snippets of video from the broadcast, sharing the sweet, funny, and heartwarming moments that happened throughout the broadcast. Hashtags related to Jimin and Jungkook immediately became a global trending topic. Not a few say that this is one of the most beautiful moments throughout BTS's journey. Korean media were quick to comment on this rare moment, saying that Jimin and Jungkook's presence together directly after enlistment is a symbol of loyalty and friendship that does not fade with time. Entertainment industry observers praised their decision to appear together in such a simple but warm broadcast because it is precisely the simplicity that makes their message conveyed sincerely. Since the broadcast, ARMY's hopes have been rising, looking forward to the next moments from BTS. They believe that the return of the members one by one will bring a new era that may even be more powerful than before. Jimin and Jungkook, with their simple broadcast, have given a very meaningful ray of light to fans who have been waiting for. After the emotional and warm live broadcast, Jimin and Jungkook slowly began to share their daily life after military service through uploads on Weverse and social media. They upload simple photos, enjoy morning coffee together, take a walk in the park, and occasionally share short videos when they train in the studio, as if to show the world that they really have returned, not only physically, but also with a full spirit and a deeper love for the army. Many fans highlighted how Jimin and Jungkook's closeness seemed to deepen after their enlistment. They no longer just looked like group mates, but like a family that had gone through a long test together. In one of the posts, Jungkook wrote, "There were many nights in the military where I just wanted to give in to longing. But always Hyung and Army's faces popped into my mind. You are the reason I stay strong." Jimin replied with this sweet message, "You are strong because you know who is waiting for you here. We are strong because we know we never walk alone." Not long after, Big Hit Music's agency officially announced that Jimin and Jungkook were preparing a special project that they would release as a gift to the army that had been waiting for them during their service. The project was not just music, but a series of documentation of their travels. This includes their difficult time in the military, their unreleased voice recordings, as well as the moments of secret training they did during their breaks in the barracks. This announcement made the army even more enthusiastic. They felt like they were truly invited into Jimin and Jungkook's personal journey, invited to witness the deepest side of their struggle and friendship.